just in time.
You got it just in time.
Oh man, that edger is just, I'm gonna love that. Look, even the backpack, that's the same as your one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mine, yeah. And you got that. So it's even got the pole saw and the extension in there as well. So you'll have 2 line trimmers because they've sent you the line
Yeah, I
trimmer
know,
as
it's
well.
got me a line trimmer of that as well.
Rotary
That's
hoe.
insane.
That's only new out this year.
Yeah, the rotary hoe is going to be
Yeah.
very, very interesting. I've got to find somewhere to use it though. I might have to do the new bit for something. That's just madness. That's so cool. So back on the 12th of December, Ego sent me all the multi-tool and all the attachments and everything. And I must admit, I was only really eyeing off the edger, and I've used that for a couple of months for all my edging, even at the school project, and I tell you what, it's absolutely fantastic. However, Ego was getting on my back saying, look, you know, are you going to review the other stuff? And I said, yes, I will. And a bit of a happy accident, I changed houses, so that took about a month of me swapping over, and then I had a tour and everything to do. So sorry, Ego, that I took so long to get this going for you guys, but I've had a go of everything now except for the slasher, which I suspect will be very good because the multi-tool system is excellent. I had a real pleasure using it, and I'm really looking forward to it in the future as well, because it's going to be my main tool for all my garden, because this new house that I've got has got a lot of hedges and got a lot of trees, so it's going to be perfect for my needs. So anyway, I'll get into the video and stop yabbering. Get your lawn on. Alright, I'm going to do a review of the Ego Power Multi-Tool. So basically the engine's up here, and you get a battery which is swappable with all the Ego stuff, including the mower, and in it goes, and that's ready to go. Now I've had this for a couple of months, and I've only just used the Ego edger. So I've used that quite a bit at the old house and also at the school project. Now I was really looking for a solid edger only. That's why I was eyeing off the multi-tool and asked to try it. And I tell you what, there's no doubt with the power of this thing. I've used it in my area. I also already had the pcowerload trimmer, which is what you're seeing here. That's a separate tool. But look, even at the school project, it just absolutely slayed through everything. And this was some pretty rough kikuyu. And that's 650 squares that I did. And as you can see, it's pretty rough job to do. I even had some drains, which adds to the edging, so it's quite a fair bit of edging that I had to do. I think there's about 4 of these drains in the area. And a small battery, the 2.5 hour amp battery, went through this 1.5 times. That's also including swapping that into the pcowerload trimmer and doing line trimming around the edges just to neaten it up. That small battery can do the school 1.5 times what it's going to do your lawn area at home, which is going to be probably a bit smaller. No problems at all. I would 100% get this tool for the edger and the whippersnipper alone, but we've got to have a look at the other stuff as well. So that's the actual unit itself. So there's a whippersnipper attachment. So remember, this is a little bit different to the pcowerload trimmer, where the motor is down here. It's not here because it goes up to the shaft and the motor's actually in the unit. But this looks like a very solid unit, so we'll give this a try a little bit later. We've got a tree branch out the back that we've got to remove. So I've got a little chainsaw here. Nice little chainsaw, pretty good. So I'm looking forward to using that, see how that goes. So it's pretty high as well, so there is an extension pole. So that'll make the unit quite long, and if that needs to go higher. But I'm a fairly tall person, I might get away with it, so I'm not sure. Okay, I got a cultivator. This is quite heavy, and to cultivate some ground in your garden beds, and that looks like it could be quite useful. So this is the hedge trimmer. So the idea is I'm going to be, I don't know what these plants are called, but they're nice and low. I've got some arrays in the middle, which will be a little bit higher, and then I've got some geisha girls, which as you can see have really sprouted some branches and really need a bit of control. Yeah, this is adjustable as well, so you pull that up and you can adjust it to any angle that you need. So you should be able to do that on the fly, but I'm going to try it here first, my levels, and see how I go. There's a little clip there. It's in. Arrows are meeting up. That's the click I'm looking for, so that's good. Away we go. Alright. As you can see, this area really has been let go, and the high wind didn't really help me with a lot of the twiggy branches, but let's see how we go. Now, hedging is something I tend to avoid. It's a job I don't really like, simply because I just find the tools usually awkward. But this was quite easy to use, and it did take me a bit of time and a few passes. Obviously some of those branches are a bit long for a clean cut, but a couple of goes with the trimmer really got a good result. It's something that if you kept trimming instead of letting it get so long, would improve over time. So it's something you really got to keep on top of. It's a bit like your lawn mowing. But with the angle adjustment, I was able to easily get into the positions that I needed to do, and a couple of passes I got a really good result. Now, this area was certainly challenging because I had to go from the outside in and then look at the different layers and just go in it bit by bit. But with the changing of the angles, it was quite easy. Look, after a while I did find the tool a little bit heavy, but I think with a bit more use I will sort of get my mojo with it, so to speak, and not have really any issues. And look, while it was a little bit awkward in places, it was fairly easy to use, and I don't consider myself a great person at hedging, but in the end it didn't end up looking too bad. I think a few more lighter trims and training, this will come up really, really neat. So this was a small and fairly thick area of Santa Ana couches mostly, although there is a few other grass types in there. And this slayed through the job. Very, very impressed. It's very similar to the power load trimmer in terms of power. When you need to angle it to get into the ground a bit, it'll do that. And look, I found a bit of a surprise edging railway sleeper there, under the grass and under the dirt as well. So very, very effective and powerful tool, and I'm sure this wouldn't cause you any problems with some thicker grasses. Really surprised with the power of the electric stuff. Even though I've had it for a little while now, it's just it's just a no-brainer. No mixing of the fuel, and this feels a little bit heavier than the power load trimmer because that's got the engine at the actual trimmer, and it's got the carbon fibre shaft. But look, I don't think this would cause me any more fatigue due to the weight of it for those small jobs. Alright, next thing, might try that bit of dirt there with the soil tiller. There it goes.
Okay.
That's on full speed and this is on half speed. But we'll go full speed, see how it goes. That's alright, isn't it? If there's any doubt that battery and electric power wouldn't power these sorts of tools, this demonstration just shows you that it's not an issue. There's plenty of power there, and mind you, this is getting into some pretty rough and hard ground, and it's doing it fairly much with ease. This would be perfect for garden beds. Really impressed. So you can have the battery on your back. There it goes. So this goes into your units, nice and light. And you can have the bulk of the battery on your back. I've got to be honest here, I found the battery on your back, while it was comfortable, it was awkward to use with the machine, and if you have to swap over your poles and everything like that, then you have to take it out to reach the reach where you got to go. But look, using the pole saw here, which when I first had a little bit of a look, wasn't long enough, so I had to change it. I had to take the actual battery thing off to get to the bits that I needed. The battery is certainly a good option if you want to just take a bit of weight out of the machine and you're on one tool for a long time, but for me it's probably something I wouldn't use. Now the pole saw, I wouldn't have been able to get this job done without the extension. It's just it's a purpose-built tool, and it's cutting through these palm branches, no issues. So really impressed with it, and it just helped me neaten up something that, look, if I didn't have the actual pole saw, I'd probably be ignoring the job. Now I fully recommend that you go to egopowerplus.com.au and check it out. Go to the products page, click on the multi-tool, and you'll find all the information here. I just had a fantastic time using all these products, and there's all the tools there. Nice and easy attachment that you can see in the middle here. That's the way you attach there. The battery range, you've got the 2.5, 5 and 7.5 that can go onto it, and there's the power head. Here's all the attachments. The whippersnipper, really strong, really liked using that product. I didn't use the slasher tool, but I will in future videos. The edger, that was my favourite by far. Look, I was very surprised about the cultivator attachment. That did quite well in some hard ground. The hedge trimmer was excellent with the different angles that you could go. I probably need a bit more practice on that. The pole saw, purposely built tool, does the trick with those branches, and of course the extending pole got me up to those palms that I couldn't get to. You can get the kits with the pole saw on the hedge trim, and they've also got the extension arm. I think what this product really did show me is that battery is really taking over. The fact that you don't have to mix fuel, the fact that you don't have to muck around with fuel, the fact that it's cheaper, the fact that it's quieter, the fact that you don't have a hot engine that can burn you if you're leaning on it in certain parts, I think really leads the way. And the battery power, even on the smallest battery, will get through your whole garden job, in your medium to average house. So I think that's a real no-brainer, and that's why it's becoming so popular. If you're looking to buy this, I would look at definitely getting a kit, either with the hedge trimmer if that's what you're sort of after, or the pole saw if that's what you're needing and after. You get the extender pole in both those kits, and that's a fantastic option to get. So what did I love most? I love the edger. That's the whole reason I got this product, is that I wanted that solid edger, and it really does the trick. It's out of all the edgers I've used, it's the best edger that I've ever had. It's fantastic. The hedge trimmer, yeah, it was good. I'd probably prefer having just a specific hedge trimmer where a lot of the weight isn't so far away from me, it's actually closer to me. That's the only criticism I've got of that. Other than that, it's made very well. The line trimmer, yep, that was excellent. No problems there. The pole saw did its job, and without the extending pole, I would never have gone and got to the top of those palms, that's for sure. The backpack battery holder, yeah, but nah. Do I have to really give it something out of 10? If I had my choice of this multi-tool and other multi-tools, I would choose the Ego Multitool for sure. Look, I've used other multi-tools before, and I think the battery and the quality of the materials, and there's no lack of power there. it just slays through the job for the home garden. I think it's a no-brainer. I would go Ego all the way.